According to Ice Hockey Wiki, as of 2018, there are 32 African American players in the NHL, 6 Latin players, and 18 players of Asian descent. What do you think are some ways to increase diversity in the NHL and college hockey?
I think we're slowly seeing it. I know when I grew up, you would barely see any. It was all, the typical white kid that played the sport. But now, it's amazing to see that every, culture, diversity, anybody coming from different, like a culture, ethnicities are all playing the sport. They do a really good job at young ages of just selling the sport. When I was a kid, the only thing you seen on TV, you watched with the parents was football and baseball. So, you wanted to play T-ball when you were a kid, or you wanted to play Pop Warner. Now kids waking up in small market cities or big market cities, they see the Knights on TV, or if they're in California and Arizona, they get to see the Coyotes or the Sharks or the Kings, and that sells the game. So just here in general, this past year when the Knights came back, they had 500 new kids sign up to learn to play hockey, and they were all ethnicities. So that's great to see. Just kids wanting to try the sport, and once they try it, they'll get hooked.
Major sports networks in the United States like ESPN and Fox Sports 1 rarely mention the NHL in their broadcast. What do you think are some ways to spread the popularity of hockey and increase TV ratings nationwide?
Growing up, it was, ESPN was a big supporter of the NHL. That's the only way we got to watch hockey when I was growing up, because it was on ESPN. And then they had a lockout of the NHL, and kind of ESPN kind of pushed them to the side. It's slowly but surely coming back, and NBC's doing a great job of raising awareness of the game. They have every year they give away they bring an NHL team to the winner of a small town city. But just the popularity of the game, I think, is going to come back. It's growing. Things like having the Knights come to Vegas, the Coyotes in Arizona, markets you don't think would suit a hockey team, like the West Coast and the desert. It's really proven people wrong. So it's not just back east in New York or the Midwest in Wisconsin or Minnesota, but just growing the game, kids' awareness, and then putting it more on TV. So like I said, when kids see, they don't just see baseball, football, and basketball. They see hockey, and they want to play hockey.
The MLB, NBA, and NFL, they all have faces of the league and ambassadors of their sport. In baseball, there's Bryce Harper, and the NFL is Tom Brady, and the NBA is LeBron James. All those guys are well-known and household names. In the NHL, a random person doesn't really know the face of the league is, So who do you think is the face of the league in the NHL? And, what are some ways that, we can make that ambassador or face of the league nationwide and a household name?
Like you said, the guys that you named in baseball, if an average person looked and they seen them, they probably, like you said, would assume know their name, or just because how many TV deals they have or shoe deals they have. Like LeBron, that's just a household name. For me, growing up, it was always Wayne Gretzky. He was the face of the NHL. Now you see like Alex Ovechkin or Crosby, and the new age kids, or Connor McDavid. But just to grow, to get them out there, I think it's just awareness of the game. Knowing that what they done for the sport, like Wayne Gretzky, when I was growing up, Wayne Gretzky was everything, to every kid. That's what they wanted to be. Just like a basketball player growing up, he wanted to be LeBron James when he was shooting free throws, or Michael Jordan when I was growing up, So I think awareness of the game, just to get their faces more out there. NBC, like we just chatted about in the previous session, is doing a better job of getting people out there. And then the TV deals are starting to come for hockey players. Now you see Geico's really behind it. Adidas does their jerseys. So you're seeing more and more hockey is growing to a bigger sport.
Have you ever met Wayne Gretzky?
I've never met Wayne Gretzky personally. I've seen him quite around the rink at his fantasy camps. I've never personally met him. I've met a lot of guys, but Wayne Gretzky would have been one. I've nodded and kind of seen him pass by, but never got the chance to sit down and chat with him.
UNLV hockey and the Golden Knights have meant so much to the city and the community. What are some ways to keep keep a strong bond with the community? And what are some things you want to say to the fans of the Golden Knights and UNLV hockey?
Hockey, like we said, it's a small community here in Vegas, but it's growing. You can't drive down the street now without seeing something Golden Knights. Or if you go to a store, or if you go to the